It's a massive week, and we are already having some information come out about games that we are potentially going to see at the upcoming showcases, the Xbox Showcase Summer Games Fest. Xbox continuously is adding games to the Stream Your Own Games list. We have another nice list here of games that you're going to be able to jump into. Tango Gameworks is back, new logo and a new outlook for the studio, so that's pretty cool. The Switch 2 is arriving this week. I'll be getting mine, so excited about that. And we have a bit of information here about a game that ran terribly on the Switch. Looks like it's running much better on the Switch 2, as well as an interesting sign that is being put out there. So all that plus many other things to go over in today's show. But before we do continue, if you do enjoy daily gaming news content, keeping you up to date on everything happening in the gaming world, make sure to hit the subscribe, share, like, all that stuff. But for now, let's jump into the news. So the Xbox Games Showcase is June 8th on Sunday. I will be streaming it, so make sure to tune in. I'm very excited for it. I think this will be as good as the last couple of years where Xbox has really knocked it out of the park. Some of the things I'm most interested in is just the news that we are going to be getting for the second half of this year in terms of release dates and Game Pass games that are going to be coming out. Because I think the first half of 2025 has been so good. I don't know how they're going to be able to keep this up for another half, but it looks like, sounds like at least I should say, they have some things up their sleeve. Gears of War Day is one of those games that is in the rumors. That's one that I do hope that we end up seeing. That's one of my favorite franchises out there. But we also have a bit more info here about games that are going to be revealed at the showcase. Now, again, this right now is just a rumor, so it may not happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if both of these did show up just because of things that we have seen. These could also just be predictions that end up coming true. Who knows? But we have this here via Clute, who is via Ecstasies in one of his videos saying that 2 new game reveals at the showcase, Double Fine's next project, which that is one we've already heard about from many people saying that this potentially is going to show up. It makes sense for Double Fine to have a game at this showcase, as it has been a while since their last release. I believe Psychonauts 2 was their last release, and that was a phenomenal game. So I'm expecting big things from them. And then the next Spyro game, or Spyro 4, whatever it will be called, we've seen a lot of rumors about Toys for Bob and the game that they are working on. As we know, with Toys for Bob, that was a part of the ABK acquisition that later spun off to be independent. And then after spinning off to be independent, they made a partnership with Xbox. And they've teased some stuff here that really does point to Spyro. So I wouldn't be shocked at all if this one does show up at the event. Again, these could either just be speculation, guesses, or whatever, but they would be pretty educated guesses because both of these things have shown up in the rumors for a while. And I kind of expect both of those things to come true when it does come to Xbox and the games that they will be showing off. There's going to be lots of stuff here. First party, of course, third party, and Game Pass stuff. I think one of the big storylines that will be coming out of this showcase is how do they do these announcements? Because we know these games are going to be coming to the PS5. Are they going to be showing that they're coming to the PS5 at this showcase while people are watching, or are they going to just put that in after the fact and only have the Xbox logos everywhere? I think there's a lot of people out there that are going to be up in arms if they do end up showing the PS5 logos on any of these reveals, because this would be unprecedented. It would be the first time that this does happen at the Xbox showcase, I believe, and that will be an interesting thing to track. I mean, the reality is it doesn't matter. We know these games are going multi-platform. We know these games are going everywhere. The key here, obviously, is going to be day one Xbox Game Pass, which they will continue to do. And I'm excited. I'm very excited to see what they have to show. I'm very excited for this showcase. I think it will end up being as good as the previous years because they have so much content and so many studios and tons of games that they can show off. Now, Xbox, in terms of the stream your own games thing, is progressing. Not every game is on there, but I think there will be a point where pretty much any game that you want to play will be on that service. And I think a lot of games, new games going forward into the future, will end up on the stream your own game. So you're getting that advantage of not just Game Pass titles that you get to play via cloud gaming on any device, but also games that you've purchased. And they've added 20 plus stream your own game titles to kick off June. So June is already starting very strong. Here are the titles that they have added. Agatha Christie Murder on the Orient Express, Anno 1800 Console Edition, Batman Return to Arkham City, Disney Illusion Island starring Mickey and Friends, Dune, Spice Wars, Graveyard Keeper, Hello Neighbor 2, Just Cause 4, Just Dance, Lego DC Supervillains, Life is Strange 2, Life is Strange Before the Storm, Life is Strange True Colors, Mad Max Monopoly 2024, Mortal Kombat X Skull and Bones, Sleeping Dogs Definitive Edition, The Big Con, and Tom Clancy's The Division. So some good games in there. What I find that stands out the most for me will be The Division. I mean, it's cool to see that those games are dropping in there and that Ubisoft is putting more of their games. But those Life is Strange games, not that I'm interested in playing them. I don't really have any interest in actually playing those games. But what this does really show is that the relationship between Xbox and Square Enix and the stream your own game stuff is going to be continuing. I mean, they're doing this with their recent releases, with their Dragon Quest games that are coming out. They've done it with previous releases. I believe like the Pixel remaster and everything is on there. So that is very cool. And I think we will continue to see this. They've also taken part in the Play Anywhere initiatives that Xbox does have with their upcoming games. So I think going forward with Square Enix and Xbox, that will continue. And I wonder if a game like Final Fantasy 16 or 7, if those are announced at the showcase on June 8th coming to Xbox, if those will be in this stream your own game feature or be in the Xbox Play Anywhere stuff that they continue to do. Yesterday, we also got an announcement for an Xbox expansion card, an absurd announcement. Luckily, this seemingly was a mistake or they put it up too early. But one of the most disappointing things I would say right now, 5 years into this generation, is the expansion cards on the Xbox. Yes, the prices have dropped. Yes, you can get better deals now, but I would have expected it to be a lot better than it currently is. And I would have expected more third-party manufacturers to jump in. I believe there's only 2 right now. You have Western Digital and you have Seagate that make those cards for Xbox. And it's unfortunate. And generally, that's kind of what happens with proprietary memory. The prices do end up staying high. I just thought at this point they would have dropped more than they have, and we have again had more competition. But they announced a brand new 4 terabyte expansion card for the Xbox Series X and S, and then it got taken down. But the pricing on this thing is absolutely absurd. I don't know who would go out and want to buy this. There may be some audience for it, but they had put this up on the Best Buy website for $430. Which is just insane. That's like more than an Xbox Series S. And you can pretty much you might as well, if you're going to buy this, just go buy an Xbox Series X or buy something else, because that's absolutely insane. But then there was an update here that Best Buy, they say, has unexpectedly removed the 4 terabyte Xbox expansion card from sale. And they say it's unknown whether this was an incorrect listing or if the product was simply listed too early ahead of an announcement. If we find out more, we'll let you know. So we'll see. If this does go back up, the price on that is absurd. Not sure why that would even be a thing at that price. The interesting thing, though, is if this was a mistake, I wonder what they will price the 4 terabyte card at. And if this was not a mistake, they may be announcing this at the showcase as just like a quick thing, accessory style of thing. They may have a segment for that. That may be in there, but at that pricing, it's crazy. Everyone was talking about this. I mean, even that article had over 1,000 shares. People were questioning why the price would be so high and why would they even release something like that at that price, because that is a terrible deal. And you should probably just go out and buy something else or buy another Xbox if you're going to spend that much on an expansion card. Okay. Tango Gameworks. We know that what happened with this story. They got saved and everything. They are now back, and they actually have a brand new logo and a new website, and they're kind of rebranding themselves here as their new studio. So we have this here. It says, Tango Gameworks is happy to announce the launch of our new website. It details our creative vision and features a new logo that symbolizes our updated brand image. We hope you'll join us on this new journey and look forward to more from us in the future. I believe they are going to be working on Hi-Fi Rush 2. So that's something that's in development. I wonder what else they do have in development, but John Johannes commented on this too. And as we know, he's the mind behind Hi-Fi Rush, which was a phenomenal game. He says, here we go. Been silent for a while as we are getting everything together. Reopening a studio is a lot more work than you think. But we're back up walking again, looking for members to join our team. So check out our new studio, culture, and open jobs. It would be cool if we randomly got an announcement for them at one of the showcase. It would be even crazier if they do end up announcing something at some point, maybe not this year, but maybe next year at an Xbox showcase after everything that did end up occurring. So that would be interesting. I mean, I guess technically Xbox did end up working a deal here to allow them to live. They could have just not sold off all that stuff, but they ended up doing that to Crafton, and maybe that keeps them in a good relationship where there'll be more partnerships and deals going forward, and maybe some announcements and promotion at showcases in the future. One game I'm very excited to see that looks like it is going to be showing up at Summer Game Fest is Resident Evil 9, the finalization of this trilogy from 7, 8, and 9. I love both of those, 1, 7, and 8. I can't wait to see what comes out here from Resident Evil 9. We've been hearing things about being bigger, more open world, and stuff like that. But Dusk Gollum, the insider who is known for providing Resident Evil information, has stated here that they are 95% positive that RE9 will be revealed at Summer Game Fest 2025. They cannot provide 100% confirmation as no source has directly informed them about Resident Evil 9 being a part of the show. They say, however, there's a lot of buzz in the grapevine and a lot of rumblings behind the scenes. Now, there's also more info about the game. They say that RE9 starting development as an open world title, and they also mention reveal and release window. And according to Dusk Gollum's previous tweet, Resident Evil 9 will almost undoubtedly be revealed this year. So I have a feeling it will. It does make sense at this point that they would reveal Resident Evil 9. I can't wait to see this one. I can't wait to see how good it is. It's Capcom, of course. They always knock it out of the park, and they've been doing very good stuff here with this series, with the remakes and number 7 and number 8. Now, June 5th, which I believe is Thursday, is the release of the Nintendo Switch 2. It's going to be a big day. A lot of people are going to get it. A lot of people are going to talk about it and show it off, and we're going to see some upgrades to games. We're going to see just if there is a real huge jump here from the current Nintendo Switch OLED, I would say, not even just the base one, to the Nintendo Switch 2. One of the things that I am excited to actually play on this thing when I do get it, and I know this is going to be laughed at by a lot of people because this is how this game should have ran originally, but Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, the Pokemon games that I enjoyed, but the performance of these games on the Nintendo Switch was one of the first games that I really felt like it held it back so much that it made it a little bit harder to play. Because I don't really go to my Switch for like top performance, top FPS, anything like that, graphics. I don't really care too much about that as long as the games are fun, which this game was, but there was so much stuttering in this one, it was hard to play. It looks like with the Switch 2, it's actually going to finally upgrade these games to a very playable, good state that it will just overall increase the experience. We got this here that the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet footage shows 60 FPS gameplay for the Switch 2. And they did put out this gameplay here via Nintendo today. And in this footage, you can see it just running better. 60 FPS is what it should be running at and everything, which I think overall is going to be a nice upgrade. It's going to be something that makes people enjoy this game significantly more. It was easily the biggest complaint, but we all know it does not matter. Nintendo knows it doesn't matter because they sold like 10 million copies. I think it was in like 3 years or something crazy like that right away for these Pokemon games. So they can release anything at the lowest FPS and this game will still sell and do very well. The fan base for Pokemon is insane, but now we're actually going to have a decent experience. Now, Switch pre-orders, you would have thought if you got a pre-order, you're fine, especially this close to the release. We've seen pre-orders randomly getting canceled in the UK. Now it looks like it's happening in the US by major retailers. This is going to be pissing off a lot of people, especially if they've been waiting for this time. Maybe they've saved up money. Maybe they've traded or sold off stuff to be able to get this on day one. Imagine then your pre-order gets canceled. It'll be very, very frustrating. But Walmart, Target, and GameStop have started canceling pre-orders. Then customers have been affected by this. We have here on Twitter somebody posting saying, just checked because I saw a post on X from Wario64 and it was about making sure payment is and all is good to go for when they are ready to ship. I checked and my order got canceled 2 days ago. And according to the replies, it was not the only person that this did happen to. And this was in terms of Target's. It was being canceled from Target. Another post did say here that Walmart subreddit that they got an email saying it was canceled due to a payment error, even though it was the same card I pre-ordered it with. And generally, if you have a payment error when you've pre-ordered something, you have like a chance to put in the right information. I know GameStop does that. They're not just going to cancel your order, but I guess Walmart just canceled it. They say, Walmart, you have failed me for canceling my Switch 2 pre-order when my payment method is valid and has funds available. Give it back. And then there were other reports here. Again, of course, Game in the UK that was doing this. So this will be interesting to see how this plays out. And again, I've talked about this previously, and why this is surprising to me is because I don't think the Switch 2 is going to be that crazily hard to get in its release window. Like, I think if you haven't pre-ordered one, you potentially could walk into a store if you get there early, get there at opening, maybe an hour before opening, who knows, but you potentially will be able to walk into a store and pick up a Nintendo Switch 2 day one if you really, really want that. I know when the first Nintendo Switch came out, I walked into a Walmart at 7 a.m. and I was able to pick up a Switch, a Pro Controller, and a couple of the amiibos that dropped for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So if it was like that for the Switch, I feel like it would be kind of similar. Nintendo isn't really holding inventory back. They're trying to do everything they can to get as much out there. And I feel like they're trying to hit big sales goals here for year one of the release of the Nintendo Switch 2. Finally, we have a couple more quick things here. A big game is going to be showing up, and I can't wait to see this. This is via IO Interactive. They're going to be showing off the first look here at First Light, 007 First Light, the new Bond game, which I'm very excited to see how this does go, coming from IO Interactive. They put this tweet out saying, earn the number in 007 First Light, a new game by IO Interactive. Mission brief is headed your way soon. Stay tuned for more information. And now we jump over here and it says, join us for the first ever IO showcase on June 6th. At 6 p.m. Pacific. Set your reminders and you don't miss out on the exclusive reveals and information straight from the team. And at this showcase on June 6th, so this is another one that's added into the fray of the other ones that we're going to see. So we really are in that showcase season, although it's no longer E3. We're getting cool stuff like this. We're going to see Hitman World of Assassination, First Light, 007, and Mind's Eye. Mind's Eye comes out June 7th. This is a very interesting one. I'm interested in it, but it just doesn't seem like it's going to end up meeting a lot of people's expectations. So that's cool. I'm going to watch that. Absolutely going to watch that. A bunch of cool games coming out from IO Interactive. And then finally, if you are a fan of Atomic Heart, they will be at Summer Games Fest. They have confirmed this, saying it's official. We're part of Summer Games Fest 2025, airing live on June 6th at 2 p.m. Tune in and watch it unfold. So there it is. We are officially in the biggest week of the year for games. And we are going to get a bunch of stuff to talk about, to play in the future. It's going to be very, very exciting. And this year is crazier than ever because we are also getting the launch of the Nintendo Switch 2. So it's going to be a massive week. But I'm going to end the video there. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up. If you're new here, hit that subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.